Hello everyone, welcome back to the Maverick channel. Now, let me start with this. I would like to thank everyone that has subscribed to this channel, everyone that comments, everyone that participates. I truly appreciate the support, and I'll always be trying to make research for you guys that is relevant to me. And because it's relevant to me, I in turn expect, or at least I think that hopefully it would resonate with the same frequency, at the same frequency with you as well, at least bringing some of these ideas to light. Now, today we're going to talk about Fetch.AI and what has been happening, but there's a whole range of topics. There's a bunch of things that have been happening in the cryptocurrency space, starting with Be a Word, which featured Cathy Wood, Elon Musk, Jack Dorsey, and the host of the show. I've forgotten the gentleman's name. But of course, we know that Jack Dorsey was very sentimental with Ethiopia, and hence on Twitter, we saw, just like how Bitcoin has a B for it on Twitter, like a B symbol graphic representing it on Twitter, or that goes along with the hashtag Bitcoin. With Ethereum, there's a new symbol, which is the Ethiopian flag. But we're not going to talk about all that. We're not going to talk about why Jack Dorsey is extremely bullish on Bitcoin and what he's trying to do with the integration of Bitcoin with Twitter. And there's also other news to do with the Ethereum layer 2 scalability solutions like optimism. There's so much that's happening, synthetic assets, but today let's focus on Fetch.AI. So we're seeing a tweet from Fetch.AI here. Tune in on July 26th at 15:30 BST for our crowdcast with IOTA for a technical update on our collaboration. Speakers are Vivek Kohli, SW engineer at Fetch.AI, and Durrell Chapman, engineer at IOTA Foundation, register here. So as you all know, I did a video and from the time we got an upgrade from Fetch.AI and how their update from Fetch.AI on how they're partnering with IOTA, because essentially, if you go watch that video, that would be very conclusive. It will put things into perspective on what this partnership is about. It's more like a collaborative partnership, because one company would like leverage certain technological aspects from the other, and the other would also like to leverage on the advantages that this one brings. And the main aspect that Fetch.AI is looking for from IOTA, of course there's others, but one of the main things are what I'm going to pinpoint out today or isolate is this: the implication, whatever it was written in the article. The implication is that the honest nodes would need to send a continuous stream of transactions, regardless of whether they are actually using the network. So that idea of streaming, having a continuous stream of transactions, I think is one of the factors that Fetch.AI is looking for in IOTA. But of course, there's a lot of other things, geographical, the idea of, I think the implications that come with partnering with IOTA, of course, that that brings accessibility to the partnerships that IOTA had in the past. It extends those onto Fetch.AI. So it's not just the technical stuff, but also the politics and the geopolitical structure or connections that IOTA has established, and the interest around the IOTA ecosystem, bringing that onto the Fetch.AI network, and consequently the Fetch.AI also bringing their interest onto the IOTA network would be beneficial for both parties. And we see this tweet from Jonathan Ward, looking forward to seeing people building multi-agent systems out of these robots. So this is I'm not going to play this whole video.
For the technical details, we have here completely.
So guys, you know I'm very bullish about this partnership. We know that Fetch.AI partnered with this company called Festo, and what Festo does is they do research in robotics or miniature robots, flying robots, maybe robotizing animals, making a robot kangaroo, making robot butterflies, miniature robots, unmanned robots, and automating structures, automating the manufacturing industry, creating autonomous manufacturing capabilities within the manufacturing sector. So they're forward-looking in terms of how technology can be used, not just in terms of an economic layer, but really creating that advanced aspect of the Internet of Things, really bringing to life robotics and automation, and then both in a physical and a software manner. So this is the type of company that Fetch.AI has partnered with, and this partnership has been brewing and growing over the months. And so we're looking forward to this, and this is what Jonathan Ward is saying here. This is a very exciting and strategic partnership, just like many other partnerships that Fetch.AI is building with this company. And we realize that the graphical user interface, or the ease with which you can build autonomous economic agents, and the framework that you can go through in order to interact with the Fetch.AI blockchain is really being optimized with the cooperation of the Festo team and the Fetch.AI team. And we saw from the crowdcast they had in the past, where a few days ago, where the engineer from Festo was demonstrating this new graphical user interface that you can use to actually interact with the Fetch.AI network. So that's a very significant partnership that's going to bring a lot of advantages. So guys, I'm going to cap up this video with this article. I'm going to read the whole damn thing, but it's a short article. The reason why I want to read the article is because they really summarize the use case of Fetch.AI, and they summarize why it's important for the Mobix ecosystem. But through reading that article, you're going to learn a lot about Fetch.AI and the Mobix ecosystem. So this is the article. So it's essentially the first part of this article. The title is How Fetch.AI Benefits the Mobix Micromobility Marketplace. So the beginning of the article talks about Humain Sheikh, it talks about Toby Simpson and Thomas Hain, who are the founders of Fetch.AI, and their background, their respective backgrounds with DeepMind and how Thomas Hain is at the University of Sheffield. So what differentiates Fetch.AI from other blockchain projects? Now, Fetch.AI is not... Well, let me just read this. I should just let you decide on your own. So the Fetch.AI goal is significantly different from to many other blockchains and AI projects currently in development. And upon first glance, a non-technical person could perhaps be forgiven for not fully grasping the dizzying scope of Fetch.AI's aim. Fetch is not just creating a buzzword Frankenstein, but is actually driving towards the ultimate goal of creating an entirely autonomous agent-based digital economy. Fetch is building the framework that can make this possible through a unique combination of multiple cutting-edge technologies. In Mr. Sheikh's own words, who's the CEO of Fetch.AI, today's internet is built for e-commerce solutions, but the new web needs to enable more autonomous solutions, and this requires building the infrastructure and tools to make it deployable. Fetch.AI is building the development infrastructure which brings the new AI-based autonomous machinery economy to life. Because of this aim, from a technical perspective, Fetch.AI is fascinating. It encompasses 4 different pieces of technology which are seamlessly linked together through the project. The open economic framework, this is the dynamic environment within which the agents live or reside. The autonomous economic agent framework, so essentially the autonomous economic agents and their existence. And then the agent metropolis here, this is where you can interact, the programmability of the whole ecosystem, smart contracts, and being able to, tell what the agents what to do, or at least interact with them so that they can make their own decisions. And then the Fetch.AI blockchain, which is essentially the base layer of all of this that's happening, where the economics happen, where the transactions happen. So how is the Fetch.AI blockchain different? Fetch.AI's blockchain uses a nuanced combination of proof of stake with proof of work to deliver a consensus known as useful proof of work. So new blocks are created through a normal proof of stake protocol, with the overall transaction order then being determined by work carried out in two different blocks, between two blocks. So this work is recorded on a direct acyclic graph that grows between the blocks. The DAG is started with the previous block and is then terminated by the block minted by proof of stake. Smart contracts versus autonomous economic agents. FetchAI's autonomous economic agents are very different to the smart contracts that other protocols have developed to provide services. Smart contracts simply perform a service once parameters have been met, while autonomous economic agents are digital entities that are able to make their own economic decisions based upon the options available to them and their knowledge of their human clients' preferences. So in short, they provide intelligent direct provider to consumer interactions without a human having to inefficiently research the best deal that suits their preference. AEAs can learn more about the wider economy they participate in or further refine client preferences through a series of inbuilt advanced AI intelligence algorithms. They can also work together with other agents in the framework in order to find solutions to complex issues, requests, or operations. So the system is permissionless and requires no human input. The framework is expected to be capable of enabling millions of transactions per second, allowing for agents to perform a myriad of tasks on a global scale. So some of the use cases for agents are autonomous AI travel, direct business to consumer, decentralized delivery, consumer good purchasing, supply chain interaction and ordering, collective learning, i.e. providing access to anonymized medical records to allow quicker research and educate direct treatment strategies, risk management, smart booking systems, smart mobility, and transport via multi-agent mobility services. So how Fetch.AI benefits Mobix? The first significant benefit of working with Fetch.AI is the ability to develop AEAs or autonomous economic agents focused on facilitating smart micromobility, and these agents, such as the Mobix reward agent, will be performing the heavy lifting behind the scenes and providing a great deal for the functionality that users will be able to enjoy when using the Mobix wallet. So these agents will be tracking users' usage mining, putting users in contact with a micromobility service provider that suits their preference, also using data relais smart self-sovereign identity to protect their data, and potentially even planning user journeys. So the second significant benefit for Fetch.AI is that its blockchain launching on the 28th of this month, guys, will be the chain that the Mobix reward token will be exchanged upon. So this will allow the Mobix reward agent to award tokens to micromobility users, and further will allow users to book and pay for their micromobility services and infrastructure offerings using their Mobix wallet. Also, due to the enormous number of potential transactions supported by the Fetch.AI blockchain, Mobix tokens will be processed lightning fast. So in closing, hopefully this article has been useful in illustrating just how amazing the Fetch.AI project is and how it is helping Mobix bring smart micromobility solutions to consumers. Remember that the Mobix stake drop is occurring on the 3rd of August 2021. In order to participate and receive the stake drop, you need to be staking FET tokens on the Fetch.AI mainnet, not on the Ethereum contract. So to learn more about how to participate, check out here. If you have any other further questions, then join the Telegram here. So of course, that's the last bit about themselves. So I'm not going to talk too much about this because I've already, time has already gone by in this video and I've already taken up quite a bit of time. But Data Rela, I saw somewhere Data Rela in this article. It's basically the company behind the Mobix ecosystem, and they're the guys that have the team that's building this ecosystem. They're also building some other technologies using the Fetch.AI network, like parking agents, and this is mostly concentrated within German. So guys, I think that's it for today's video. Fetch.AI, of course, I've not elaborated on too many things because I've done quite a few videos about Fetch.AI and the Mobix network. It's extremely vital what they're doing. It's extremely important, and I think it's really cool, the technology that they're building, because it's really going to redefine how we define the future or living in the future. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one.